Happy Sunday, everybody, and welcome to episode 8 of The Uplift. If you've been following us so far, you know that this weekend's theme was based on do-overs, and then we kind of progressed in the conversation and gave you assignments to kind of delve into it on a deeper level. Well, Sunday's episodes are all dedicated to recapping and revving up for the week when I'm not going to be with you, some thoughts to bring in to the days that follow. So first, let's start with the recap. Friday during Cocktails and Conversation, our general kind of introductory summary was about do-overs in general. And much unlike how do-overs are thought of in the outside world, they're usually attached to relationships. That was the primary feedback I got from a lot of you. Songs are written about do-overs in relationships. Novels are written about do-overs in relationships. But what we learned on Saturday's episode was that many of you felt guilty because you didn't have a relationship do-over to take into consideration and said, you know what? My do-over is more about forks in the road, decisions that I made to go left instead of right. And I used the example of many, many people DMing me on Instagram and saying, my do-over is more about, for example, I wanted to go to school for art, didn't choose that, went in a totally different direction and have never picked up a drawing pad or a paintbrush since. You should watch that episode if any of that resonates with where your mindset is. And now, of course, we went into a kind of thing about how do-overs can be about things that you may still be able to do, accomplish, get done, rejoice in, whether that's trying to reach back and resurrect a friendship that went awry for a silly reason, to repair a family ship with your brothers, sisters, cousins, aunts, uncles, or resurrecting something deep inside of you that was a talent or a joy or a love that you can still begin to practice and get back into your life before the story's over. That, I have to tell you, as the person that received all the messaging from different people, was the paramount thing that people kind of, that aha moment. I wanted to be a painter. I wanted to be an art student. I wanted to be a singer. I wanted to move to such and such a place, but instead I stayed in my hometown, et cetera, et cetera. This week, your assignment, should you choose to accept it. Oh no, another assignment. My notebook's getting filled, I hope. I want you to focus on something. I've got so many notes, look like a mad scientist. One thing that is more negative in your experience on the daily basis that you're willing to let go of in the week ahead. What do I mean by that? I mean really tiny things, because tiny little differences can make very broad impacts. I used a couple different categories because I know that it's widespread interest on these. Being sedentary at work, and it makes you feel it makes you feel bored, makes the hours seem like they're taking days to go by. Getting up, moving around, going for a lap around the building. Maybe your issue that makes you feel guilty is grabbing something that you know you shouldn't really eat, but that's your breakfast standard. Well, maybe tomorrow you change that to something more healthful. How about this one? This is really simple. Do you groan when you get into the car to go to work? Do you groan when you pull into your office parking lot? Do you groan when you open the front door to get ready to greet your colleagues and start your day? Maybe replace that with a different take on where you're going, what you're doing, who you're seeing, and what will happen. The attitude you bring into something is what the universe will deliver to you, right? You bring the expectation of positivity, chances are you'll be met with positivity. It's all in our approach, and it's all in what happens usually first thing during our day that could set us off. Now, I'm going to use a really uh, blatant example in my own life, which is going to be my thing to let go of this week. The alarm on my phone is so irritating that I get up earlier than when it is set to go off, so I don't have to hear it. Getting up earlier so I don't have to hear it makes me angry and resentful. And hearing the alarm when I don't get up early enough to avoid it gets me in a really bad headspace. And I understand the reason I selected the alarm in the first place was because I listen to people that say you should really choose something that will get you up and out of bed. That's the whole point of the alarm. But then I go to other people who say, I don't do that. I wake up to like a lyrical alarm or a ringtone that's set to my favorite song. It absolutely changes my headspace when I roll my legs around the side of the bed and say, thank you for giving me this new day. You may already not have this problem with your cell phone. You may not have a negative relationship with your cell phone like I do, but that's what I'm going to change tonight. So I listen to something completely different tomorrow, because the headspace that I walk into my shower with or downstairs for coffee with or whatever has been started by something that I could choose to change. That's what I'm talking about. The really, really little things. These aren't big assignments. These aren't big thought-provoking processes. But what would you pick that would make that little tweak in your day, that little minor thing? Is it rushing? Do you always like you get into this tornado of kind of overwhelmed negative headspace because you didn't give yourself the 5 extra minutes, or you didn't take a shortcut the night before, like preparing your lunch for that day, charting the MapQuest roads that you were going to use to avoid traffic, things of that nature. Sometimes I leave things for last minute, and then I get really, really down on the world and myself because I'm in a rushed frame of mind. Oh, Krista, you should have chosen a different path. Krista, you should have chosen to be more prepared, to be more aligned. The launch points of our day are really important. Mine are going to be focused on the morning because that's where I recognize I kind of self-sabotage myself with a lot of downer things, excuse me, that is within my range to opt and change. Tomorrow, I'm going to look for the small things. When I open the doors to the main building where I work, sometimes the scent of coffee brewing absolutely wafts at me. And I happen to enjoy it. It smells good and it kind of awakens me and it makes me like ping all the ideas in my brain. Okay, you're at work now. I'm going to choose to look at that as like one of the things I look forward to, because I pass it by every day and I really never take mental note of it. Oh, there's a coffee. I must be at work. But I really do enjoy that whole experience, the way it waves over me. Maybe you have things like that too. Maybe you like parking in a certain spot because those daffodils are already pushing up and out and makes you feel like springtime. Whatever way you can turn your face toward the light and appreciate whatever small slice of sunshine is being arranged for you to experience tomorrow. And so I'd like you to focus on the tiny things, the little things. We talked about a lot of really big, heavy things this weekend. And I want us to start to change our perspective to the smaller ones and the power that we each have to change what we do that may impact us negatively and not let us appreciate those tiny things on a daily basis. There's a great quote that I have in my notes, and it's not quote of the day. I'm going to give you that in a minute. Focus on the small joys and wonders. Turn your face to the sun and all the shadows fall behind you. I I love that. It's such a simple thought, and it's one that we always don't practice, just because we get in our own way, in our own head, or out into the world where things are bustling, and we kind of forget to put into practice enjoying those small little moments of light along the path that will build to our day. Um, the quote of the day was, I think, given to me very purposefully. I talk about my friend Luna a lot. She's in England, and she has a YouTube channel that's designed to ignite people's passion and positivity, as a reminder about how wonderful each of us can be, and the things that we can achieve in our life. And in our episode today, this is where I got quote of the day. Let go to let in. Letting go of something like maybe some of the topics we were talking about over the weekend, those do-over moments that we may think about too often in today's life and not move forward, those things that are holding us back, those things that we wish we could resurrect because they brought us joy and make us wonder why we didn't invite it into this space where we're living right now. Let go of something you're hanging on to and let in something better that's waiting to take its place. I think that's a magically simple thought we can all carry forward. So I ask you, what tiny thing will you let go of tomorrow and until we meet again? Now, poll Thursday, Cinco de Mayo, coming up on Friday. I'm going to release the poll on Thursday. Some of the drinks, of course, will be tequila based, but I'm also going to throw in a non-alcoholic beverage for those of you that do not imbibe and would like to celebrate in style. So look for the Thursday poll. I look forward to you joining me Friday for cocktails and conversations again. And throughout the following weekend, I'm not sure what our topic's going to be. I'm going to surprise you, but I guarantee it'll be thought-provoking. So until then, until we meet again, thanks for taking this ride. I sure hope you stay for the journey. Bye. Enjoy your week.